Good morning, my darlings, and welcome to week 4 of the 12 weeks of Christmas challenge. And this week we are concentrating on using what we already have. So this is where we get to put our stock, take information into practice, and get some stuff made ahead of time. So if you have leftover veg and you're coming to a point where you're about to do the shopping, start turning those veg into side dishes or putting them aside so that they're in the freezer or jarred up, water bath, whatever, away, done, right? Okay, so we're going to look at doing that this week. We're going to look at making some other things available to ourselves so that they're done. Pre-making cookie doughs, cakes, little pastry things. We're going to do little pastry things, and get those part cooked or just made up, ready to go. But making things with what you have already, and I think you'll be very surprised at what you have available already in your cupboards or your fridge or your freezers or whatever, that you can already start putting things aside. You could start making little nibbly things if you're going to be having like just little buffet style whatever. Maybe you want to make some mini quiches. I do have a video that I did those last year, and I will put a link to that probably up here somewhere shortly. There you could be doing little sausage rolls, you could be doing all kinds of little nibbly things ready to go. You could be starting to make cards for people that are going to be, that you can hand deliver to, or that you're sending internally, as in within your own country. You could be doing things like that. You could be making little gifts, you could be making little decorations. You could be starting to pull out a ream of paper and start making a bunch of different types of snowflakes, taking your time and doing a little bit of that every night or whatever while you're watching TV. There's all kinds of things that you can be doing with what you already have. So that's what we're doing this week. We are going to be fully concentrating on all of the things that we can do within our homes towards Christmas or the holidays or whatever, because I know some of you are doing Thanksgiving before then. Obviously there's Eid, there's all kinds of different celebrations. There's like over nearly 100 celebrations worldwide from this time of the year onwards through to the New Year celebration for Chinese New Year. There's over 100 celebrations at this time of the year during the winter period. So whatever it is that you're celebrating, you could be doing things towards that without any issue right now. Okay, so have a look at what you've got. Look at your plan. Put your plan. You remember your planning. Okay, you could be using anything that you have. If you've got craft stuff available, craft stuff available, why don't you start using it? One of the things I like to do every year is I like to add to my decorations and make something myself that is permanent or semi-permanent, that is something that we pull out only at Christmas. Little homemade little decorations, little felt ones. Sometimes I send them off as gifts, but something that you can make yourself. And you might not feel that you're very artsy and crafty, but I bet you are a little bit more than you think you are. And the thing is, if you don't practice these things, how are you ever going to be good at it? Think about the things that you buy at Christmas time, and think about how many of those you could actually make yourself. You might have a pack of sausages shoved at the back of your freezer somewhere that you could pull out of their skins, put together as sausage meat, and make your own sausage rolls, because you like the sausages, because you bought them, because you like them. Do something like that. with whatever pastry you've got floating around the freezer. You know, put some of those together. Make sure they're all made up. And then, I mean, you can part cook them. Only cook them for like 10 minutes. You don't want them fully cooked. But part cooked. Then in the freezer. Once they've cooled off, then they go in the freezer. And then, you know, you just pull them out and they're only going to take a little bit of time to do it. You don't even have to part cook them. I mean, if you've got pastry in your fridge, you know, or you've just bought some pastry or whatever, just use that and then put it in the freezer. It's fine. It's not a problem. Just do what works for you. You know, maybe for Christmas you want to make your own bread. Well, why not try testing that? Try testing it, doing it now. You know? Yeah, do it now. Make some mini pizzas. You know, the best way to test out any dough is to make a pizza out of it. I mean, I've found that is the best way ever. Make a pizza out of it. If you're making pizzas for your family, make double and put the other ones aside in the freezer, wrapped up. Yeah, see, you know, and all those boxes you're getting your Amazon parcels out of, cut them into the circle size that you want, you know, wrap that in foil, then put your pizza on it, you know, your one you haven't cooked yet, put that on it, wrap it up, you know, with loads and loads of cling, so that, or plastic wrap, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it, but whatever you call it, you've got a name for it, that's fine. But whatever you're going to do, whatever you call it, you can put those away and then you can pull them out later. Maybe you want to make a bunch of little ones. Make a bunch of little ones. So you can have like little individual pizza type things, so people can pick them up if you're doing a little buffet, rather than having one big one. You know, have a bunch of little ones. You know? Maybe even use some of that dough to put like little, you know, fillings in instead of a pastry. So maybe have them as little breakfast bites. So you're using some of that pizza dough that you made, so you're testing out your dough, and you use that and you fill it all up and you part cook it so it's ready to go in the freezer. And then, yeah. These things are really easy to do. You've already got the stuff. You might have a rag bag of clothing that's got some really nice material on it. You might want to use that to make something for either your Christmas, to do a bit of patchwork, or, you know, you do a cushion cover, or whatever you want to do. You know? Maybe you want to make some rag dolls. Why not? Who's stopping you? The only person that's stopping you making this stuff yourself is you. Because you can do it. And we don't have to spend the earth to do it. But whatever you have right now, you can start now. You know? You might have random cans of things like artichoke hearts. Well, what's stopping you from opening it and marinating it and packing it in oil so that it's ready for when you want it? Nothing. You know, you might have some onions left over, so slice them up, whack them in some vinegar, flavoured vinegar, put them away in jars. All of a sudden you've got pickled onions, you know, to go on the table. That's something you don't have to buy anymore. Something you can say you put towards it. You know? Maybe you're making a cake this week or next week or whatever. Make 2. Don't decorate the second one. Just have the cake. Wrap that up. Put it in the freezer. So then when it comes to Christmas week, or the couple of days before you're going to have your event or whatever that you want the cake for, you pull the cake out, you defrost it at room temperature, and then you decorate it however you want it. It's not that hard. You've got this. Let's use what we've got and not make the holidays a time for stress, especially financial stress. We don't need to do that. We have plenty of time to do a little bit of this and that. And let's really concentrate on that this week and see what we can start and get done. Okay? I know no life throws curveballs. I had a pretty big one hit me this week. But life has to go on. And we still have to get things done. And sometimes just a job a day keeps us going at the times that we don't want to keep going. Okay? We've got this. I love you guys heaps. See you soon. Little paste. Oh my god. Pardon. Where we planned. Oh my good god. Oh Jesus. Oh, the world's on fire. Oh no. Okay, so what is wrong with me today? Rapid